to Prairie View A&M and head coach Jackson. Once again, if you do have any questions, we ask you please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Jackson. Coach, if you could start us out with an opening statement recapping your team's season opener versus Texas Southern.
Yeah, really rivalry win for us. Great way to start off our tenure here at Prairie View A&M. I was really proud of our players and our coaches for how they handled the adversity delay because of the field and the rain that happened there. But we withstood it. Our kids were resilient through it. We have an in spite of mentality around here, in spite of all the issues that we with new tenure. And so we're in the conference and got a really good opponent in UTRGV coming in here this week.
Christian goes to Wayne Cartwright.
Hey, Coach. So, what after that emotional game for a UT Rio Grande Valley team, especially with Eddie Lee Marburger throwing for 365? Like, what's the process of preparing them for this opponent this week?
Yeah, it's the same process that we go through every week, Wayne. Man, our opponents are nameless great faces to us. What we try to do is make it about us and about Prairie View. A&M. With all respect to our opponents and those that are in the future, and we do not care about what they got going on. We try to stay penalty issues. We had some issues, and in spite of we were still able to win. So what we want to do, we put that game away. We got home about 3 a.m, and the next day at 3:00 p.m., we were back at practice, ready to go, working on UTRGV. And they have a really good quarterback. Played a lot of Division I snaps at UTSA. And so even though they're a new football program, they're a really good football program early on. And so we got our hands full this week. And so it was really easy when we cut the tape on to move.
Looking at home.
Next question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on that victory. Can you take us back to the game-winning play, Mr. Ojo, and how that transpired and what you think about it?
Man, James, that seems so long ago. All I know is that we won. Went back to the 18-yard line, and our quarterback, called timeout. Our quarterback came to us and made a play call. Basically, he suggested a play, and we went with it. So therefore, it was his call. He had saw some things formationally that they didn't adjust to as the game went on, and so we went with it, and he found. With a lost defender, and so we were able to pull out a win. So I remember that part, and you know, I didn't know he had caught the ball at the end of the game because there was so much chaos going on. The people rushing the field told me that we had won the game, and so it was a memorable moment for it being a first for us as a program here. And our first we've seen moved on from it. I know it's Tuesday and yesterday was Labor Day, but man, we're so far from Saturday until I hope I gave you a pretty good recap because it is a distant memory.
Yes, sir. Congratulations and good luck going forward.
Thank you.
Question goes to Perry Daniels.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
I realize that there's been some time since that game ended. However, I want you to talk about the experience. You've been in this game on the other sideline. Talk about being the A&M.
My 4 years as a coach at Texas Southern, I never beat Prairie View A&M. There's an old saying that said, if you can't beat them, join them. And so we certainly were excited about being in the purple and gold, regardless of my affiliation with Texas Southern. And I know what we have here. I know him. And so we were really excited to be here and to win game. Man, it would have been a travesty. From a social media standpoint, had we not won, because we look different than most. And a lot of people take that differently. And so for us to start off with a win, I think it just helps us all the way around. But most of all, I was happy to give our fans and our alums something that they could go to work and talk trash about for a whole nother year.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Question goes to Dr. Cavill.
This is Dr. Kenyatta Cavill. Dr. Cavill is inside the HBC Sports Lab. Good morning, Coach Jeff. Pretty much talked about that. So moving forward, but based throughout that game, I'd imagine is an area of interest, 6 of 16. When you look at that, what do you got? Although your quarterback played really well in a lot of spots, including obviously what became the most important drive, including throwing for a touchdown at the end of the game. How do you focus on getting better, particularly at the quarterback position in terms of efficiency and the whole team? Up those first downs and continue to move the chains.
Yeah, Doc, I'll tell you, correct. When you go back and look at the game film, we were probably a little either way. And so what we have to do is realize we were behind the chains, whether it was by penalty or by execution. Immediately when we got in, I think very vividly back to a 3rd and 1, where our quarterback needed to snap the ball. We had him on the ropes. We needed to snap the ball. He held it. We ended up jumping off sides. That put us in 3rd and 6. And then here we go. We started going backwards. So when it's execution issues like that, we certainly want to address those. And we'll always address those moving forward in everything that we do. But a lot of penalties that we're getting some answers to, but some of them we did do. But I think you saw a lot of game 1 jitters. It was a lot of guys' first time out there playing, which is certainly no excuse. But I think we can clear.
I want to also say congratulations on the win, as well as belated happy birthday. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it, Doug.
Got time for a few more questions.
All right. Give us your feeling about actually getting your first Division I win as a head win this past Saturday.
Yeah, I don't really have a feeling. I think you guys and people outside of football make a lot of a bigger deal about Division I. Man, it's football. It's college football. As a head coach in my career, I've coached on every level of college football. And so there's not a lot of difference, man. And I don't want to disrespect anybody, but the conference I was in a year ago, there ain't much difference from a talent. I don't look at it as necessarily a Division I win. We look at it as a win. I don't care what division you're in. I don't care where you play or how much TV time, contracts you got. Man, if we walk out there on that grass together, we want to win. And so we don't make excuses for what we don't have and what they got and all that stuff. Man, it's Division I. It's what the division is. And so there's no different feeling than when I won a game against an NAIA school in my first head coaching year. It's winning. And when you're in this seat, you're a part of college football, man, you want to win and win in adverse situation. That was probably the I enjoyed the most. Not necessarily winning the football game in Division I. We won a football game together in our first go round as a tenure. Man, we didn't have headsets for and so we get excited more about that stuff other than the Division I win. And I probably go a little bit too far. A little bit. I say a lot about that because I'm really tired of hearing about what division it is and all of that stuff. Man, it's football.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Got time for one more question. It goes to Z Tawatari.
Coach, forward, given how much emotion and energy is spent winning a game like that, do you think that you have to recover more emotionally or physically going into this week?
And criticism is the same, man. Which is what we try to program our guys to do. The emotions and all that stuff, that's more for you guys and fans and alums. Man, it's every time we walk in the locker room together, and we have to learn to overcome those things, regardless of the rivalry, regardless of anything that might have took place last week at our home opener, because it's a chance for us to play the FCS opponent in the Southland Conference. And when we came here, we said we just didn't want to be leading the Swac. We want to be leading the FCS, and this can start that opportunity while others play Swac games and other things. And so it's a great chance for us to put ourselves back on the FCS map with an opponent like this, regardless of how long they've been playing football. They got a lot of good stuff, man. They got brand new facilities. They got really good coach players, and so we're gonna have to certainly put our best game plan together for really good
Next week. All right, next we go over to Texas Southern and Coach Dishman. Once again, if you do have questions, we ask you please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question